Welcome to the show, guys. Week 14 waiver wire, along with the studs and sucks from the past week, highlighting the guys that should be on the suck list this week. Giving a suck of the week. We're going to honor one, Jim, I think, today at each position. And also the latest news knows there's a bunch of injuries that we got to cover. We're talking fantasy football. We're talking playoff fantasy football. We're ready to go. Welcome to the show, Jim. What's happening, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, counselor. How was your week 13?
Oh, man, it was good. I'm excited for Laporta. Laporta did great. A little sad about Tank Dell. Still managed to pull out a win, even with Tank Dell going down. We're going to talk about some injuries here. How was your week, man? You doing good?
Well, in the high stakes league that I played in, I won the quarterfinals, so I'm in the finals. So I won at least $500 in this league, so that makes me happy. And I also scored 170 points. So I'm like, damn, this team is pretty solid. So I'm looking forward to the championship in week 14.
Nice. Congratulations, man. At least you get a free buy-in for next year, which it sounds like the plan here, what's happening there. All right, so let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about some injuries first. I want to go over that. There were some key injuries here that happened this week. And, I got to talk also about the Pacheco left hook. I don't know if you saw that at the end of the game. I'm calling it weak and soft because it's a sucker punch. Some people saying I'm soft for saying it's soft. Pacheco was always that chippy guy, right? We're talking news here. Pacheco's that chippy guy after every run. He's like, it reminds me of like Lindsay Lohan. I used to call him Lindsay Lohan, but Philip Lindsay. Remember Philip Lindsay would come up after a run and get in people's faces? That's Pacheco. And some people say it's passion. It is what it is. And then he throws this left hook against a defender after a fumble. And I think they ejected him from the game. What did you think of that hook? Do you think it's dirty to throw a hook? I think it is.
I think it's stupid to try to hit somebody wearing a helmet with your fist. It just seems like a good way to hurt your hand. But I mean, they can't tolerate that sort of behavior. And he should have been ejected. He's probably going to get a fine as well. And he deserves it. And he'll probably think about it a little bit maybe next time, and so it won't happen. But,
yeah, I don't like that because again, if you want to fight, first of all, it is stupid, with the helmet. But another thing, if you want to throw hands, say okay, let's go. Don't just it's just a sucker punch. But again, it's not like you're gonna knock them out. It's very hard to knock somebody out with a big helmet right there. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I mean, there was a lot of inflamed passions on a lot of games yesterday, like the San Francisco Philly game. There was a lot of guys just all bunching around each other, being all in each other's faces. And, it's like, these players are playing for a lot right now. They're under a lot of pressure to get these victories. And I'm not surprised that occasionally they snap. And,
it's a time of year, man. It's a time of year. Playoffs are coming. A lot of records, are borderline playoffs. So they gotta win. So it's getting really chippy out there. All right, let's to other news here. Derrick Henry, again, another weak call. He was hit pretty hard. I didn't think it was concussion protocol worthy. He was shaken up, but that's football. He got up, walked off the field, and then walked off, into the locker room, and he's under concussion protocol. I'm like, that's weird. Like, it was just a hit. Like, it's okay to get shaken up a little bit. I don't know. Did you see that hit?
I did not see the hit, but I saw when that happened, and he probably just banged his head against the turf when he went down, or something along those lines, and that's enough for a doctor to see it, and if they diagnose him with a concussion, he's not going to play anymore, and that's the league has had too many issues with players suffering concussions and then continuing to play. Like, I don't know if you remember last year with Tua when he went down and he was his arms were like this for several minutes and stuff because something had short circuited in his brain. And they're like, you can't let a guy like that back out on the field. So they're just being extra cautious with it. The optics wouldn't look good if they continued to let him play. So,
and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them pulling him out if that happens, but that's not the case with Derrick Henry and a lot of these other guys that are going down. They're walking off the field, they're fine. There's no cringing, there's no spasms, nothing like that. So it is what it is, man. He's on concussion protocol. Kenny Pickett, again, ankle, not expected to go on IR, though, so he's going to miss some time. I don't think it's a big loss. The Steelers kind of suck,
Yeah, they do suck, and they're going to just be bad, even worse. Just bad offense, not a lot of production. These are guys that you're mostly going to want to sit, when we do the preview show. But, disappointing.
Stevenson, X-ray, ankle, he's going to undergo an MRI at the time of this recording, probably today. So we're going to see what happens there. Christian Watson, again, I call this soft as well. He went down, non-contact injury. This guy can't stay healthy. So I ended up doing a post on it on my Instagram. It's gotten lots of views, tens of thousands of views. A lot of people agreeing with me, a lot of people disagreeing with me. He just ran up the sideline and just dropped. Again, like he's just soft. This guy's not made for the NFL. He can't stay on the field. Missed first 3 games, I think, of this season, was it not? And then prior last season had some issues. This guy can't stay healthy, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he's a very high risk injury player, and so going into next year, I don't think I'd have any, even if he
No.
was able to stay healthy, just because he's just not getting enough volume. But he had a good game yesterday, so good to see that. But it's not like I would have started him anyway. So
Yeah. Anything else? Tank Dell, man. Our guy Dell is out. Fractured fibula. Apparently he's not going to play again this season by the looks of it. I don't think he's officially at the time I was recording on IR, but he should be placed on IR. I don't know if there's an official notice on that. So when we're talking waiver wire, we'll get to that. But Noah Brown and Robert Woods should be now more involved in the passing game for sure with no Tank Dell. Very unfortunate,
yeah.
Jim.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's such a great rookie season he's been having, and you hate to see that. But if it's injured reserve, he could still come back for the playoffs. And it looks like Houston's going to be a playoff team. So, we might still see him again.
Well, for fantasy, we're done. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for fantasy, we're done.
That's all I'm saying. Dalvin Cook came out, rushed 9 times for a team high of 35 yards. Him and Breece Hall didn't look good. Dalvin Cook given more opportunity for some reason to committee, but he ends up fumbling the ball and losing it. So shame on Dalvin Cook, I would say. He sucked.
I mean, it's such an awful offense. How can anybody get excited about starting any of these players? We usually say start Breece, start Garrett, but geez, man, I mean, it's just there's just nothing there. There's no offensive production, and so these guys, whatever they're going to do, is going to be so limited. It sucks. It's a wasted season.
Yeah, he's done, man. He's absolutely done, in my opinion. All right, anything else in the news, Jim, we need to talk about? And then you could maybe go over the quarterback waiver wires here, maybe, right?
Well, yeah, you were going to talk about who the best and worst for the week, and then we can talk about some guys that might be available.
Well, I want to hear your waiver wires first. I want to hear who should we pick up at the quarterback position, and then I'll go.
Well, I got to say that the 2 quarterbacks I'd be most excited to pick up right now would be either Jordan Love of Green Bay, who's been playing much better lately. Had a good game last night. He's at the Giants next week, so good matchup. But also, hey, good old Joe Flacco.
He's back.
Back, looked pretty good for most of the game. He only kind of fell apart at the end. He got 17 fantasy points last week. Next week he plays Jacksonville at home, and Jacksonville is actually pretty good for quarterback production. So those 2 guys were my favorites. But also you've got Geno Smith, who unfortunately faces the 49ers next week. So I wouldn't want to start him. Stafford, who also had a good week, is at Baltimore. Again, not a great matchup. And then Gardner Minshew, who is at Cincinnati. That might be a little bit better. But anyway, those are some quarterbacks that you can look to pick up if you need them for week 14.
Imagine you get that desperate in your fantasy football playoffs that Joe Flacco is your solution.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the odds of that, man? I mean,
I'm thinking more of a super flex type league is where you're going to want someone like Joe Flacco,
That's not good. I would definitely not want him. Now, let's go over the studs here. Your boy, Geno Smith, your main squeeze, Geno Smith, number 1 here, excluding the Monday game here. So Geno Smith doing really well here. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, all doing well.
Brock Purdy put on a show, man. I mean, geez, that was just a beatdown of Philly. I thought Philly was going to play that game much closer, and just did not happen.
The suck of the week has to go to our guy, Justin Herbert, man. I don't know what's going on with that offense, if it's coaching. Mind you, Austin Eckler crapped the bed, which I'm happy about. But 7.98 points, I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this offense. They're ridiculous. And you can't say they're banged. They got a first-round pick in Quentin Johnson. They got him. They got Keenan Allen still on the field. So there really isn't any excuses here with lack of receivers there. So, what's going on here? Herbert, man.
I think it is a lack of receivers. you know, we always know that New England always locks down your number one target. They locked down Keenan Allen. He didn't get anything yesterday,
No.
and there's really no one else right now on that team to throw to. I mean, even poor Quentin Johnson did get 7 targets when he was playing yesterday. I think that's a season high for him. But it just shows that there is a real lack of offensive talent on this team right now, and it's starting to suffer. But frankly, I'm kind of fed up with the Chargers coaching. I think they need to clean house. I think they need to just start fresh and get a nice infusion of offensive talent on this team, because they are really, really lacking right now.
So I've got a new voice here now. So every time we do the suck of the week, I got to do it in my voice changer.
Who's
Justin
the suck of the
Herbert.
week?
Justin Herbert, you are the suck of the week. You suck.
I love that sound effect. So yeah, he gets the suck of the week. Justin Herbert at the quarterback position, absolutely terrible. Derek Carr 9 points. Baker Mayfield just under 10 points. Will Levis just under 12 points, and he was apparently yelling at DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if you saw a video, but he was out yelling at DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know whether they had a miscommunication.
Yeah, they were yelling at each other. I think they were a little
Okay.
frustrated. But then he started throwing the ball more to Hopkins and was having some good production with him. So I think they kind of figured it out. But
is Levis in a position, being as young as he is, to yell at a veteran like DeAndre Hopkins? Does this guy think he's Tom Brady or something? Like, I don't know if you're in a position to be yelling at Hopkins like that.
yeah, I don't know. Also, Mahomes had a pretty crappy night last night too. So that was,
Right.
Mahomes has just been extremely disappointing this season. I mean, just not the vintage Mahomes we are used to, and I want to know when it's going to come back. I love my Mahomes, and he has not been himself this season.
13 points for Mahomes this past week. Very,
Yeah.
very, very sad. All right, let's switch it up here. I'm going to go to running back here, but I'm actually going to, instead of the waiver wire, let's go through the studs and sucks first. Alvin Kamara, I mean, just another good game, 2 touchdowns. Chain coming back. I was questioning whether he's going to come back strong. Sure enough, he did. He had one of those games there, man. Just crushed it. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 73 yards rushing, 4.3 yards per carry, 25.3 points. Did well. Derrick Henry, James Conner, Chuba, and Christian McCaffrey, top 6. Pacheco still 21.3 points, did well. Kyron Williams, 20 points, and Rashad White and Tony Pollard's around the top 10. Pollard actually having a good game, 17.3 points, starting to give his ROI on that first round. Draft capital, Tony
too
Pollard.
little, too late, Pollard.
Yeah. He's risen finally. That's a big offense thing. Dallas doing well. He's just being a product of it. Good on him. Guys that crapped the bed. Obviously, we talked about Dalvin Cook, Stevenson going out with injury. Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Again, I got pissed off because that touchdown was horrid. He had that amazing run. They pull him out. David Montgomery gets a touchdown. So this is the type of stuff, man. It's been one of those years. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I saw that touchdown run, and I thought there was something weird he did right towards the goal line. Like, it looked like he was like a straight shot right into the end zone. Then he does this little cut, and he falls down at like the 2-yard line. I was like, what the hell happened there? Why did he just run straight in? It was like a clear path right to the end zone. I just thought that was very weird what happened in that whole sequence. But again, it's a split committee in that backfield, and Gibbs didn't get the touchdown, so he had the worst game. So
it's been pretty gross. The situation also when you look at the running back committee with Najee Harris and who was it? Najee and
Warren.
Warren. Najee 9.7 points, Jalen 6.5. So again, that split just dicing things up. Jerome Ford 14.2 points. I didn't even look at what Hunt got, but he's probably, again, it's just like these splits every single place you look, just chopping up the fantasy points. I'm not liking that. Even Eckler, 4.7 points. He's supposed to be the starter. Joshua Kelly, 4.5 points, split down the middle. You're almost better getting Eckler than the 8 points than giving 4 away to Kelly. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you're a fantasy owner, it just sucks this year when you're looking at running backs. Other than Christian McCaffrey, there hasn't been that certainty at the running back position, right? Outside of him.
Well, maybe Henry, you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's they're going extinct, man. Those workhorse RBs are going extinct. You got to deal with these committees.
Even Javonte Williams and Pirine and Dylan and like even Dylan sucked 9.7 points, man. So I'm just trying to figure out who the suck of the week. Oh, you know who the suck of the week is. Right, here we go. Are we ready?
Okay.
I gotta prepare my voice for this one. Ready? Here we go.
Austin Eckler! You, sir, are the suck of the week.
Yeah, very bad for Austin Eckler. It's 4.7 points for a second overall pick. Top 3 pick, everybody. I warned you, Eckler's going to decline. Sure enough, he did. He had a pinnacle year last year. Again, the only one I feel wrong with coming off pinnacle years is Christian McCaffrey. He has proven me wrong. And a big part of that was I think the health was a big thing for me. I didn't think he was going to stay healthy. The fact that he did, he's been able to perform. So, hey, man, can't win them all. But Eckler, I'm happy that one has declined this year. Very happy.
Yeah, again, I don't think Eckler's going to be playing in the NFL next year, man. He's an old man, so it's just not going to happen anymore. As far as waiver wire goes, I mean, really, the top 2 waiver wire pickups would have to be Zeke Elliott of New England because Ramadre has that ankle injury, and Tyjae Spears of Tennessee because Henry is in the concussion protocol. And so it looks like those guys will have more work to themselves. Zeke got 17 touches and 5 targets this past week. Tyjae Spears got 16 touches and 6 targets. That is outstanding. That's an outstanding amount of volume in both cases. That should continue in week 14 if they play. So those are my 2 top priority pickups. But also Chuba Hubbard of Carolina, who got 25 touches. That's just an insane amount of volume. But he's a guy that's available in about half of leagues. So go check to see if he's there. And then also Dameon Pierce, back from injury, had 15 touches yesterday, got the touchdown. Singletary went back into the back seat in this offense. And so going forward, I think Singletary is a sit. And Dameon Pierce is someone that you could start next week as well if you needed him.
Yeah, I mean he's overdue, but again, too little, too late. It almost seems with Dameon Pierce. What a big bust!
Exactly, too little, too late.
Very unfortunate. All right, moving on to the wide receiver. Since you're on a roll here, Jim, with who to pick up, who are you picking up at the wide receiver position this week?
Well, I think if Flacco is playing again, who's Flacco's number 1 target? It's Elijah Moore. 12 targets yesterday. They play Jacksonville. It's a relatively fantasy-friendly matchup as well. So I like that pickup. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who got 11 targets this past week, but he is at San Francisco, so I would not be real thrilled about starting him. Jonathan Mingo of Carolina got 10 targets. It seems like maybe Mingo is starting to become the favorite target, and Thielen has been fading the past month or so. At New Orleans next week. Devontae Parker of New England also got 9 targets. They are at Pittsburgh next week, and Quentin Johnson got 7 targets. They are playing Denver next week. So I don't think I would want to start Quentin Johnson, but that is good to see that kind of volume.
Quentin Johnson finally getting some work. Hey, there we go.
There we go. Quentin Johnson. You are
poor Quentin Johnson. It's just so sad.
Walmart shoppers, Quentin Johnson is now getting the ball. Please bring your groceries up to the front and go get ready to watch your game. Quentin Johnson. There's my sound effect. That's pretty wild, man. So Quentin Johnson finally, but yeah, I'm not excited at all. Now Nico Collins getting some work, 34.1 points with Dell out. He is thriving. Who would have thunk it, right? Nico Collins, man, amazing. He could be a league winner here.
Yeah, and I think Nico is the number 1 on that team. I think Dell is the number 2. But Nico's great. Noah Brown didn't see any work yesterday. I think he got a goose egg.
He will though. I think he will. I think he's a good waiver wire pickup though. I do. I think he steps up.
I haven't seen it yet. He's had like maybe 1 or 2 good games this whole season. So again, if I'm not seeing the volume, I'm not inclined to really want to pick him up. But he should see some more work, hopefully.
Yeah. DK Metcalf, great week. Deebo Samuel. Everyone was ripping on you. I saw in the comments because you didn't think DK Metcalf would have had a great week this week, and he crushed it.
I know. I said that, right? I was like, no, I wouldn't start DK Metcalf. And he gets 3 touchdowns. I was like, well, That's egg on my face, man. That was
Yeah.
that was a pretty bad call.
Take ownership there. Yeah. I mean, let's take a look at how consistent he's been kind of like up and down. This was like his biggest. Yeah. The week you say he's not going to have a good game, he has the best game of his life because you look at the week prior 6.2 points, 20.4, 16. He had a 6-pointer in there. So he's always been like safe. But this happened to be the week he absolutely exploded, is the week you said that
Yeah.
that he was going to be bad. So
Jim, you were wrong.
Well, so now you know if I say to absolutely sit some guy, go ahead and start him because he's gonna go off.
that's funny. Okay, so Metcalf, Debo, Nico, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, rounding out the top 5 here. Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Pittman, Devontae Smith, and Puka, 23.9 points. Puka back. I knew they'd have a bit of a bounce back game. Wasn't sure if it was him or Cup. Both of them had a decent game. Cup just 16 points there. Suck of the week here, man. Garrett Wilson, 8 points. That is absolutely ridiculous. Jerry Jeudy, 8.1. He's been a bust all season. Is there anyone else that jumps out here? Adam Thielen.
I got one. Terry
that?
McLaurin got a freaking goose.
Did he?
Nothing for
Really?
McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. Okay, where? Let me see. I got to go so far down here to see.
Yeah, he got 0. So,
Wow.
who else got 0? Oh, Godwin got 0 also.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, I don't know what happened to Godwin. He usually is pretty solid, a very solid wide receiver too, and he has just been like the worst this season, even though he's getting decent volume. So he just has no connection with Baker Mayfield, I guess.
No.
But just excruciating season for Godwin if you had him.
Yeah.
So
Drake London, 1.8 points. That is beyond.
yeah, one catch. Yeah, he got the one catch. Yeah,
There's something going on with the offense. You got all this talent. What was he, like a first-round pick? You're not using these guys. The quarterback situation sucks. You're not utilizing. Like I saw Cordell Patterson coming out for like 4 or 5 runs. I'm like, and he was running negative yardage. I think he even fumbled, but it went out of bounds. Like, why is Patterson grabbing the ball? He's out there fumbling, and he's out on the next play.
It's because Arthur Smith wants to get fired, man. He wants to get fired. I think. I don't know.
Like
he tried his hardest to lose that game, and he was just playing such a bad team that they ended up winning despite themselves.
The Falcons I don't even know how they have wins, but they seem to pull out wins because they have such a good schedule, easy schedule. But like I'm watching this, I'm like, what is Patterson doing on the field is my first question. So I see Patterson on the field. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then he fumbles. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's to be expected. He sucks. And then he's back on the field. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
right?
Dude,
why would you want to play your best player? Who wants to do that?
No.
That's what the other team is expecting you to do. So he's doing the mind games, you know.
Yeah.
He's just like messing with the other team.
I'm telling you, man. Bijan banged his wife or something. I don't know what's going on, man. It makes zero sense. All right, let's move on. So yeah, I would say the suck of the week. I'm going to give it to Drake London.
Drake London, you are the suck of the week. You should be.
I don't blame Drake London for that though. I blame the coach and I blame the quarterback.
Arthur Smith is the suck of the year. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, we should do a yearly sucks, and he should be on the front of it. All right, let's move on to the tight end. Anyone to pick up a tight end?
Yeah, I got a few. Tyler Conklin of the Jets got 9 targets yesterday, so they are playing Houston next week at home. Chigakonkwo of Tennessee got 6 targets. They are at Miami next week, and Tucker Croft of Green Bay also got 6 targets. They are at the Giants next week. Not a lot of great options on the waiver wire for your tight end, but those were the best that I could find. So if they are available, they might be worth picking up in your league.
Yeah, the suck of the week. I mean, like again, tight end is tight end. I don't rip on anybody, but David Njoku 3.7 points, Higbee 5.5. That kind of sucks, obviously. Kelsey 12.1, but I mean that's acceptable. So yeah, nobody really. I can't again with tight end. I don't really award sucks because you give me 5 points, 10 points. I'm a happy person. You know what I mean? And I got Laporta.
Yeah, I'm not happy with 5 points, but yeah, with 10 points, you're thrilled.
Laporta crushed it just when we need him the most. 16 rounders, 140 yards and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, who was not on anybody's radar prior to the season, absolutely crushed. He was like ranked 21st amongst tight ends going into the season. How do you not see that he was going to have a good year? I mean, I don't know.
You saw it, man. I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I took him in the leagues that I took him in. So
Yeah, because you were giving me all this BS stats on tight ends in their first year don't succeed, blah blah
right,
blah. Dude.
because they don't
Yeah.
succeed, and he has proven to be the exception here.
Yeah, he's special.
Having a great season. It's just very exciting to see. So
All right, defenses to stream. Who are we considering streaming this week?
there's actually a lot of good choices this week. I was looking. We got Indianapolis is at Cincinnati. So again, you're playing against Browning, so that's a good matchup. Jacksonville is at Cleveland, so you got Flacco there that you can get some turnovers on. New Orleans is playing Carolina at home. Houston is at the New York Jets. Green Bay is at the New York Giants. There's lots of really crappy offenses out there at this time of year, and you just want to play a team that's playing against them, and you'll be fine.
Well, there you have it, guys. Those are your studs and sucks, your studs and
Your socks.
for NFL Week 13 and your Waiver Wire Week 14. Drop your questions below, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. What a wild week it was, and a lot of injuries. It's fantasy football, man. It's been a wild year. Wild.
It has been wild, and so good luck here in your last week. I hope you guys make the playoffs, and let's keep going.
Okay, guys, drop your questions below. We are out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Jim.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks.